All right, good morning. And oh, we're on Facebook as well. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk. I have a new guest with me today, Linda Rizzoli. I'm so excited. How are you?
I am so good, but you know what? I've forgotten my coffee, so
Oh,
I'll try
okay.
try to struggle through.
I have coconut water.
Water, water talk
Water
with
talk.
Julie and Linda.
Yeah. So you were saying that you're in Canada.
Yeah.
And are you a Talk to the Entities facilitator as well?
I am a Talk to the Entities facilitator. This was my first year. July of 2023 was my first summit.
Did you go to
So
Paris?
I did not. I
Oh
streamed it from my office in the middle of the night.
my
And in
God.
fact, one night there was this huge thunderstorm and all the power went out. And I missed probably 30 seconds. Somehow everything kept working. Somehow I had light to see by. It was
Oh my
just
gosh.
amazing.
Wow. Well, you should have
Yeah.
come to Paris. It was so gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. And
And really,
it's
really,
coming up in Costa Rica. Are you gonna do
yeah.
that, do you think?
It is. I have registered for live. I really get what a gift to my body it would be.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like I tear up just saying it to be
Yeah.
there live. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. And I think what I'll do, it's always over my daughter's birthday. So I
Ooh.
think what I'll do is I'll do the first part, the advanced online, and then fly
Yeah.
in.
Oh, then you get the
Maybe
best
we
of
can
both
share a
worlds.
room.
Yeah. How does it get better than that?
Yeah, I'm just about to book my accommodations and I'm going to stay a couple of days after the class because I'm an
Hmm.
investor and I get to do that and I haven't done it yet. So excited.
It's such a gift to bodies and to the earth and to the world, that place. Yeah. How do we be so brilliant, right? To get to spend time there.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't
Yeah.
know, because we're just like chatting,
Yeah.
um, in in Costa Rica, there's a property called El Lugar, and Gary and Dane are creating this amazing space. And like years ago, when they used to do a lot of classes in Costa Rica, like the land there is just so different. But this place in particular that they found is even more so just nurturing and just it's just wonderful to be there. I can tell from the photos. And I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. You just said you were an investor, and that's actually on my, asks. My wow list is to really invest in a bigger way in Alugar. So
Yeah.
if everybody would contribute to me, I would.
You know
What would
what's
it
funny?
take?
I had a CD of
Yeah.
some savings that was just getting very minimal percent. And
Yeah.
so I used that as the down payment part. And then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, universe, like, what's it gonna take? And
Yeah.
I kept running this clearing that Simone
I've
shared.
got my pencil. Got my pencil
Ready?
out, Julie. I'm
Um,
ready.
it's what insane points of view around money do I have that keeps me from receiving an abundance of it?
Oh,
And I ran that for a couple of months. You
wow.
know, sometimes like you're running a clearing and then you
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
And if you go to oh, I forgot, I'm bad, I'm not still doing
Yeah.
it, blah, 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 you undo all the work that you've done by running the clearing. Because when you forget, and I heard this a long time ago from Gary, um, I think it was the Beyond the 7 Day class in Australia. And I said,
Yeah.
went on the beach and I started running the clearing. And then like partway through, I totally forgot. My mind went blank and I feel so bad and wrong. And he's like, no, that's when you become it. You don't have to keep
Wow.
doing it. And I was like, oh my
Wow.
God. Duh.
Yeah.
And if you don't acknowledge that you've become it, then you try to go back to where you were and like do it again.
Yeah, you've got to like go back and find your limitations so you can clear them like a good girl.
So sometimes it doesn't take 30 times a day for 30 days. Like,
Yeah.
you just do it when it comes up and when the points of view come
Yeah.
up and become it.
Yeah. I have another interesting story about Elugar and money. So I had, as many of you out there probably have, the ask to go to Elugar. So they were doing a class in January of this year, 2024, the profit class. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And there was actually, I was running a clearing about all of the, crazy big five that I'm using to create all of the I can't have and I don't deserve,
Mm.
clearing that out. And I just thought, okay, there's no reason I can't have this or don't deserve this. So I'm choosing it. And so I kind of in the past had an expectation of, how you choose and then the money shows up for you. But so I thought, okay, I'm going to choose, and then I'll get like $10,000 sitting on my island in my kitchen, just out of the blue, and there I'll go. I'll go to Elugar. But that did not happen. I can't say that I had anything specific show up that would prove that I was making more money than
Mm.
usual, that I would be able to afford to do this. But I did it. I went to Elugar. I did the class. The only proof I had that I could do it was doing it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I still can tell you how I afforded it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's part of the money magic stuff.
it
I was just
is
cleaning out some of
totally.
my drawers and under my sink, and I found this old thing. I was about to throw it out, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go through it. And there was like some old makeup and stuff, and there
Yeah.
was this little pouch, and it had $1,200 in it that I had put in there years ago. I'm like, oh my God, what can I do with this money?
I love that.
I am about to go buy a new computer, but I was like,
Yeah,
damn it, I'm gonna go do it today. So I'm like,
yeah.
hmm.
Oh, the beautiful support of the universe and just like the fun of it, the sheer joy and fun of finding $1,200 in a drawer.
Right?
Like how, right?
I love putting money in all kinds of places, and then you reach your hand in your pocket and you're like, oh, money.
Money. I just did that this morning. I did a class on the weekend. I always ask for cash, so I actually end up getting a lot of cash. And
Mm,
I just was sucking it away in a drawer. I was like, ooh, that sounds fun right now.
mm. So tell me what made you choose to be a talk to the entities facilitator?
Um, okay, so when I first stumbled my way into Access, I don't even know where, but I heard about Shannon's book, Talk to the Entities.
Mhm.
So I read it. I'm not a word of a lie. I read it on Kindle so that no one could see that I was reading it. Because I just thought this is so out there. I don't even want anybody to know. And as I read it, I had this like wistful feeling of, isn't that beautiful that Shannon has these capacities? And boy, I wish I did. But I can just read about hers, and too bad I don't have any capacities. And so uh, I I put the ask out to the universe, what would it take to go to a Talk to the Entities beginning class? And not hide. And it just like we're talking about, the universe just like showed up so beautifully and had my back, and I got to be um ta- in so many different beginning classes, just in the way the universe works.
Mhm.
I just got to do probably about 7 or 8 of them. And through the
Wow.
process of that, and it took me so many. I just had so much, so many deep, insane points of view, like you talked about with money,
Mm.
but around entities. And I had just locked up so much in my world that it took me class after class after class to really start to find some space and create space. And
But
I,
you still
yeah,
chose it, even though that's
yeah,
so interesting.
yeah, such a, I was not a one and done. Like one class was amazing, and it took a while to unwind. And so when I had become a CF, I thought to myself, if I could, like, oh man, like to be a talk to the entities facilitator, wow. And I got like an awareness of the energy, and I just thought, oh, I am actually not, like, I can't, I'm not willing to be that yet. And I
Mm.
knew that. I was
Mm.
aware of it. And then I just continued to use the tools of access. I continued to choose, and who I be in the world just became substantiated, greater and
Oh.
greater and greater. And then I chose last year. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have all the prereqs. I'm doing it. Boom. And there I was.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
I was a
Wow.
little bit scared actually, because I thought, okay, when I paid my money, I had a presumptive reality, a point of view that, okay, I'm gonna pay my money. I'm gonna become a talk to the entities facilitator, and my world is gonna explode and get really loud and really intense. And you know what happened? I paid my money, and that happened. Everything relaxed, and
Mm.
so much peace and ease just infused itself into my world.
Mhm.
What a gift.
I know. It's like everybody thinks that talk to the entities is this like big, dark, evil, scary thing. And I'm like, you guys, it's so the opposite.
Yeah.
There's so much peace. And I feel like the the depth of joy and
Mm.
peace that has
Yeah.
shown up since I've chosen it is like I didn't even know it was that possible.
Yeah, I agree. How long have you been a talk to the entities facilitator?
I think 3 years, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I knew Shannon before she even created it, and I went
Yeah.
to her classes then. And
Yeah.
it's funny, I've been doing a lot of cleaning out of stuff, and I cleaned out the garage, and I found this old notebook
Yeah.
um, from 1993, and in it, I was communicating with my brother who had just been in a motorcycle accident, and it it was like I don't know, like I just was doing it, and it was just it was a different process, and it was a lot more structured and
Yeah.
breathing and doing all this stuff to get into the right space to be able to hear. And now it's like, yeah, you can just receive and
Yeah.
communicate. It's not a big deal. But I was always curious, and I always thought it was cool. And I learned the talk to the entities tools before it was a curriculum. So I never
Hmm.
really, I was like, oh, I got it. I get it. But then I took some of her advanced classes in the beings of
Yeah.
light, and I was like, okay, she is continuing and taking this further and further and further and further. And I really just felt the push from the universe, like you need
Wow.
this.
Wow.
So I resisted it for a year, and everything, my world dried up. I was like,
Dried up.
confused, kind of like Shannon's story, She asked Dad, what did I refuse? And she's like, oh, I refuse to talk to the entities, and everything in her life went like that. So I was like, oh,
Um,
duh.
that's actually, like, when you're saying that point of view of like, oh, I think I got it handled. And then you go to these more, then you attend these talk to the entity classes, and you're like, oh, there's so much more. It's a common, it's something I experienced, and it's a common thing I hear in my classes of people being like, oh, I kind of thought I had this.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Oh,
I
yeah.
realize there's just this, there's there's not an edge of where I stop.
Right. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with the foundation and even bars, you
Yeah.
know, and teaching those over and over and over and over again. It's
Mm,
like it is not the same thing every time. They're because you're different and your wealth of being is different and
yeah.
it meets people in a different way to the deeper levels of what these tools really are.
Yeah. I love that, Julie, your wealth of being. Talk about something and in place, a place to invest in. Hey.
Mm. It's so true, you know, and anytime I invested in an access class, it made me more money.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
go to, well, you know, I'd rather go on vacation, it's like, okay, go do that. But for me, vacation was not fun. It was
Yeah.
boring. I
Yeah.
like going deeper into possibilities.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Call me crazy.
I think that's part of the gift of access and the gift of talk to the entities is that the more like crazy, what I would have at once termed crazy, the more
Mhm,
crazy I've become, the more like joyful, peaceful, and the more wealth of being that is showing up for me. But I really had to like choose from that woman who was, hiding with the Talk to the Entities book,
mhm,
but choosing and reading it, you know, it was willing to meet me where I was and just like to continually choosing and choosing kind of to come out of the closet with my own weirdness, I guess,
mhm. Yeah,
my own difference.
yeah. And, you know, that's similar to Shannon in her life and not wanting people to think that she was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought it was cool. So
Yeah.
I didn't think that part was weird. I thought being psychic and being able to
Yeah.
perceive things that other people can't was cool.
Yeah. I always found other people's difference cool,
Yeah.
but I always thought that my difference was like somehow
Yes, that's it.
not meeting the cool factor.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true. Yeah. But like being able to perceive somebody else's cool factor of their difference,
Yeah.
we
Ooh.
have to have a bit of that ourselves or we would not even recognize it.
Oh, that's so light when you say that. It just makes me wiggle.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So do you do access as a business full time and do you do other things?
I do access. I do have an access business that I don't know. Do we do anything full time? What does that mean?
I do everything full time,
Yes, maybe
but I
that's maybe
also
we.
have, I also have, I mean, some people only
Yeah,
facilitate and some people do other
yeah,
things as well.
yeah. I do. My main thing is access. My access business in all its different forms. I got some other, plates that spin as well. Um, that are fun and bring some money into my life. And what else? What else can I add to my life? I see all your jewelry behind you. That
Yeah.
must be one of your plates that you spin.
Yeah, it's actually, well, the two play together very much,
Yeah,
but in the past, that was my main thing, and I just did access sort of on the side.
yeah.
But then I invited it to uh, show up more. It was funny because I think Dane did a body whispering. No, it wasn't the body whispering. It was before that. He did some class that was for people who were body workers, like the
Mm-hmm.
handbook for healers or something. And because I was a jeweler, I didn't think I worked with bodies, which is a
Oh,
really funny point of
wow.
view because like it is for the body. And
Yeah.
and then through doing more access and clearing points of view, I realized that I create elixirs for the body,
I love that.
and that it
Elixirs
actually
for the
does
body.
change
That are
people when they even
beautiful.
try it on. It's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah.
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 What are some of
Wow.
your plates?
Um, my plates. I wow. We have an electrical business that we've run for, ever and a day, have some property.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah. I'm totally blanking on what else right now.
Yeah, we get
we
space.
yeah. Um, do you facilitate the money and entities class?
Um, I'm trying to think. I do the walk-ins. Do I do money
Yeah.
and entities? I don't remember if I paid for that certification or not.
Yeah.
I might have. I
I,
can't remember.
I was just curious because this conversation has been like this meandering through money and entities and
Hmm.
money and entities and letting it all play together. So,
Yeah, I might have.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Walk-ins was like super easy for me. I just actually facilitated a walk-ins intro
Yeah.
class, and they're so powerful. I wish more
Wow.
people would choose it.
I do. Like, what would it take for more people to choose Talk to the Entities classes? The possibilities, the future that I am aware of
Mm,
and have been aware of, from the time I was little. Um, Talk to the Entities has been such a gift in allowing me to create and lead towards that. And so I just wish, what would it take for more people to come and bodies in these classes and receive these beautiful gifts that are not just about getting out of pain,
mm,
but are about like creating possibilities and a lighter, brighter future for this earth and for each of us.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah, I actually have a intro and beginning coming up this weekend, and I'm traveling to
Yeah.
Sedona,
Wow.
and it's also on my birthday. So I'm like,
Oh,
how much fun can I have? And so far, it's a pretty small class, but
yeah.
that's people. But I know
Yeah.
that I'm going
Yeah.
for the energy and, maybe
For
people will go on
consciousness.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah,
For me, Talk to the Entities has a lot to do with land. Just like you're
yeah.
saying, you're going to be in Sedona in those beautiful hills, and that is part of the class.
Hmm.
Like those energies of the land will be showing up really palpably in class to
Yeah,
facilitate whoever chooses to be
yeah.
there with
And
you.
like, what can we change there?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
wow, there's a lot. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
don't start. Not yet. Haven't shown yet.
We are secretly changing the world with these Talk to the Entity beginning classes. Everywhere we go, we are creating something, something.
And when you took all those beginning classes before you got your
Yeah.
license, did you choose different facilitators?
Um, I worked with Julia Sotis Mattis, who was a Talk to the Entities facilitator for years. And so I
Oh,
got to be in so many of her classes. And then I would choose to go to Shannon's classes. So I would do, an advanced class or a beginning class or whatever. So I did just sprinkle it up between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that it's so different with different
So different. So different. That, I think, Talk to the Entities has really given me that gift to know I facilitate it uniquely. Shannon has compiled this curriculum, this material, and she's so present in it. And I facilitate it as me more than, it's the thing where I just like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is like my secret world that I'm sharing with everybody. That wealth of being again, that wealth of being. We get to just be each facilitator so unique and creating something just, slightly those elixirs that you're talking about. The recipe's a little bit different with each facilitator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any classes coming up that you want to share with people?
Oh, I do. I have a whole roster of stuff coming up. So you can check me out on the Access website. I've got them listed there. I have a Money and Entities in May. It's like that class just like is so world shaking.
Yeah.
More,
That
please.
actually might be fun. Maybe one day we can co-facilitate something.
Oh my
I'll see
gosh.
if
Yeah.
that would
What
be,
would it
that would be
take?
super fun.
Yeah. And I do have a beginning class, a Talk to the Entities beginning on Vancouver Island coming up May as well. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, everybody check out the Access website, check out
Yeah.
everything that Linda's doing and and all the classes around the world. I mean, how amazing is it that you can be pretty much anywhere and there's
Yeah.
who knows bars in that country?
Yeah.
That's
There
just like,
are facilitators all over this world. So even if you're not going to be able to join Julie and Sonoma, like what's around you that would really contribute to creating something really cool in your life?
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Well, thank you for joining and thank you everybody for watching and listening in the future.
Yeah. Thank
A
you.
lot of times these things show up in the wrong time. And so you catch it in the future and hopefully this like cracked open some like, oh,
Yeah.
curiosity. Let's see, let's check that out.
Thank you so much, Julie, just for like the beauty that you bring with what you be. I'm really grateful
Oh,
to
thank you.
have got to just kind of wander this path of exploring with you for the last half hour.
Thank you. Thank you for being my guest. And I'm still getting used to like, wow, I have a podcast, like whatever that means. They're just chats with different people.
Chats,
And
coffee
I
chats.
I
Yeah.
love it. So yeah, thanks for showing up and for being you and being your wealth of being in the world.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow.
Have a beautiful week, everybody. See you somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
the world. Bye.